Hi, this is Lizzie, and today we're going to make a little pop-up purse, and this is what it looks like. Got a little popper on the front, a little snap fastener, and that's the little purse you're going to make. So if we look at the pattern piece here, let me just show you here. So all you're going to do is draw this shape out. So you're going to draw this rectangle first, and then you're going to measure in 1 1/4 inches, and you're going to draw your lines both sides. From here you're going up 1 1/2 inches, you're going in 1/4 inch, as you can see there, to make your diagonal line here. And for this one it's 2 1/2 inches out, and all I use to make a curve is a cap of a bottle or a can, and I make the curves that way. So all you need is that to make this purse. Now the first thing you need to do is to cut the pattern pieces out, obviously. So you've got a lining, you've got an outer, and the outer has a stabiliser on, and I use Fleecelina H250, and if you're in America there are stabilisers that you can use that are just the same. An iron-on stabiliser is all you need. Also I've got some cam snaps here, a little plastic snap fastener, and I'll show you this time how that works. So the first thing you need to do is put your pieces right sides together. So there we go. There's your two right sides. I'm going to pop them together, and you're going to start off at the side that has the diagonal edge. So you're going to start, let me just get these lined up a little bit better. You're going to start here and go all the way around, and you're going to end up at the other side. So we're just going to go all around the whole piece. So 1/4 inch seam allowance, little back stitch to hold, because that's where you're going to turn through. I've got my stitch on a longer stitch so I can do this quite quickly for you, but you'd want to have your stitch on about 2 1/2 length. So just all the way around. If you've got a needle down facility, brilliant, this is the time to use it, because we're going around a few corners. Get these pieces lined up and around you go. So just go around your curves, ease it round. And again, just make sure that's lined up. I'm a little bit out. Keep it nice and flat. Come up to your corners again. Line it up. And of course you can use your quilting clips or your pins to hold these pieces together. Right up to the last corner here, and off at the top. So let's give that a back stitch just to hold. Okay, whoops. Now I'm going to switch my iron on so we're ready to give it a press, because with this we need to have really sharp corners. So where you have gone around the curves, so around here at the tops, just snip into them, or just take that fabric down just a wee bit. So I'll just trim it so it's nice and neat. Mind your stitches as you go. Clip into your corners and cut your diagonals off, just to take some of that fabric away. Clip into the corner. Whoops. There we go. And cut your diagonals off. Clip into the corner. And we've already reduced the bulk on that curve there. So that's what it looks like. So now what we're going to do is turn it through. So it's a really quick project, and it's quite funky, it's quite different. So I've got my iron on hot, ready. And it's just a case of now of poking all those little pieces out so they're all lovely and crisp, all the corners are super duper. So I'll just use my finger to start off with. Now if you've got a turning tool of any sort, even a knitting needle will do, this is the time to get it out. But I'm going to use the point of my scissors. So I'm keeping my scissors together, poking those out as best you can when you're in a hurry. Curves aren't too bad, so we just poke that corner out there. Okay, and that one, and the top. So that's obviously what it looks like. It's just a smaller version of what you started off with, and then we'll give it a good press. A good iron always makes a difference. There we go. Oh, this iron is so lovely and hot. Okay, So the next thing we're going to do, and I'll keep that iron there, the next thing we're going to do is where we started off, we're going to just turn that in and top stitch, just to make it nice and neat. You don't need to take it all the way around, you'll see why in a second. So again, I'm just going to take that in 1/4 inch. You could use your quilting tape to help you, so any form of sticky tape will help. But we'll just whiz this under the machine. And if you want to, you can hand stitch. So a little back stitch, try and keep this quite neat. Again, just pull that so that 1/4 inch seam allowance tucks itself in nicely. All the way along that top piece there, little back stitch, not too much, otherwise it'll look clumsy. So just a couple of stitches is all you need, and we'll just snip those threads off. There we go. Another one there, just do that one again. Okay, so again, exactly the same before, all we've done is top stitch this piece here. Now what you can do at this point is to actually put your seams in. It's almost like you're putting hinges into your box. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stitch a rectangle from there all the way around, okay? So this is where, if you want to, you could draw with your pen. I'm just going to eyeball this. And it kind of gives us a natural sort of hinge, if you like. I mean, if your purse doesn't exactly fold up to those pieces, don't worry. It's holding all the layers together as well. So all the way across, on the last one now, it doesn't take long, does it? Especially if you've got a longer stitch. Straight the way across. So, let's cut those little threads off. Okay, so this is what we've got now. So this is our piece, all neatly tidied off, the top stitching here, top stitching all the way around here, just to hold your 2 layers together. So this is the interesting bit. What you're going to do is you're going to take each of these corners, bring them together and top stitch those together. Now don't worry if they don't exactly meet, that's really not for you to worry about, because all of that's going to be hidden inside the purse. So each one of those corners is going to be nipped together and top stitched, okay? So it gives you your corner. Even these ones here, bring together and you're going to top stitch. Now you're going to either do this on the machine or you're going to do it by hand. It's entirely up to you. So again, we're just going to do a little back stitch and just, let's see, my machine's saying no. Little back stitch again. And obviously you're going to tidy all your threads. So there's one done, can you see? So now I've got to tidy my threads away, but you can see what I've done. And then I'm going to go to the other corner and bring that one in, top stitch it down. So you could start either from the bottom or the top, entirely up to you. There's not much bulk to this. You could use wadding instead of stabiliser or interfacing. Again, it's entirely up to you. So we'll just trim those threads a little bit because it's getting to be like a spider web. So just trim those back. Pretty fabric, isn't it? Really pretty. So trim those threads. You want to do a really good job. I'm just hurrying just for you guys. There we go. Just trim that away. There we go. So with this one, we're now going to stitch these 2 corners here. So you can see we've done the back. So this time we're going to do this one here. Okay. So again, you're just literally top stitching. Now you'll probably find this doesn't meet, and that's fine. That's all part of the deal, all part of the pattern. So that's one corner done. Let's just trim those off. And now we're going to bring this corner up here. So this is the last one. Yeah? You happy with that? And again, just top stitch that down. You can start, like I say, from the centre of your purse, or you can start from the outside. It's entirely up to you. But a little back stitch there, just to hold it nice and strong. So it's caught on my machine a little bit, but you'll be able to sort that out. Okay, so there we are. So if I take all the threads all out of the way. So there we are, there's the basics of our purse done. And you think, what? But what you're going to do is you're going to fold all of this in all this closes down, this comes over the top, and that makes your purse. Now you can actually press that, so some of this, and I'll show you, my iron's still on, so what we can do is sort of help this along. So where that folds over there, we can give that a little press. Where that folds over there, we can give it a little press. And again here, little press. And then it just literally, and I'll show you, let's get my hands out of the way. So that's how it looks. So it collapses down here at the front, and again you can give this all a little press. A steam would be good because that would hold those creases in, and this little piece comes over the top, and that's what creates your little pop-up purse. Now if you want to put a press stud in, or a magnetic clasp or anything like that, I'm going to use like a cam snap, then this is the time you can do it. So they're quite pretty. So you want to mark the middle of your purse, so let's say, and make sure that it will go over there fine. So all I'm going to do is get my little awl and just make a hole, make sure it's okay on the other side. So I'm just going to push that through. Let me do that. So I've pushed it through, you can see it coming out the other side there, yeah. So I'm going to get my two little buttons here. So the first button goes on the top, like that, and then the little stud goes on the back, like that. We get our tool in, the button sits in that little silver dish, and we just give that a squidge, a push down. I always use two hands, you can use one, and that's put in the first stud. Okay, so now we need to do is make sure that we all line that up beautifully on the other side. So I'll bring my awl in again, and I think we're about there. So let's put a hole in there. So I just push it through, and I protect my fabric and I protect my fingers, and there we are, you can see the awl going through. So this time the button goes on the inside of the purse. If I can get it through the hole, there we go. So it's gone through the hole there, and the little spiky bit has just come out, you can just see it. And then we've got the socket that goes on the top. And again, all we're going to do is get our tool, the silver dish, the button goes in the silver dish, so let's turn it so it's better for me. Button goes in the silver dish, give it a squidge. I always hold it flat on my table, two hands, give it a squidge. And there we are, so there's our poppers done. So that folds down, that comes over the top, and you squidge those together and you've got the most fantastic little pop-up purse.